Hi everybody, I'm Decky DeckStar. I just want to share about what this channel is about and what I'm hoping to achieve. And I think the way to start with that is to talk about my passion. I think what drove me to want to share about this certain topic or issue that society is facing, which is mental health and mental wellness. But also, I think the greater drive was that I have been living with mental illness for quite a few years, for many years. And I think from my experience, going to therapy, being an inpatient at a mental health hospital, I think I have a lot to offer to the community. I have a lot to offer to people who still have this stigma, this distorted stigma about what mental illness is. And I think more than mental health, it will be more about mental wellness, because I think we focus on the mental health part, like what is making me sad, what is giving me fatigue, what is wrong, I can't cope, instead of coming saying, okay, I realize that I'm facing these things, but what can I do to help myself? And the one thing I've realized is that society, and I also was like that, where I focused so much on the illness that I was not trying to find ways on how I could help myself. So I'm hoping that through are engaging with me, watching my channel, following me around, as I share, going to therapy, and obviously as time progresses, it I want to show the world, actually, society. I'm so much against society. You hear me? Like, I'm so negative about society because yeah, it's full of BS. So I would like society to understand that when somebody has mental illness, or let's say the one that's more prevalent is depression and anxiety. And as soon as you say depression, society has come to this point where, okay, we will accept depression because everybody's prone to it. Anxiety, we live in a high anxiety world. Taxes are spiking, and petrol is going up and down. Those kids, and I think we don't delve deeper into what causes the depression, and which is what we call the root cause, and those are what I want to deal with. But obviously, the one thing I would like to stress very much is that I am not a mental health professional, meaning I can't diagnose anybody. And that is something that I will always emphasize in videos, because a lot of people that I've engaged with, especially, living with multiple mental illnesses, I will share what they are, as time goes on. Like a person will say, oh, I think, like when I say, oh my goodness, I'm feeling like this, or I'm feeling like this, especially for a person who takes medication every day. Sometimes the medication doesn't work, it just does what it wants with you. And then somebody says, oh my goodness, I think I have that. And the worst thing that people do is self-diagnose by, especially like following people like me, maybe mental health channels, mental health influencers. But also I've realized that mental health, mental illness, mental wellness also is something that society is very uncomfortable about. It is very, very uncomfortable. And I think the main reason that is because we are so scared to deal with the root cause. Most of the time we know what is causing the depression, we know what is causing the anxiety, but because life has become so hard, has become so challenging, we go like, okay, let me just carry on. That will sort itself out, because no matter what I do, it's gonna be there, which is excuse me, which is the big problem. So with my channel, I'm hoping that we can delve into what the problem is, that's perpetuating um the the what's this the challenge of your mental health, because I think most of us, especially at our age, I mean, I'm 30, 36. Okay, I was born in 1918. I don't know how old I am. I'm not keeping up. I think growing up, challenges are not the same. The challenges are not the same, and we live in a society where depression is thrown around, narcissism is thrown around, bipolar is thrown around, anxiety, but then we do not want to deal with what is causing that. Okay, sorry, I mentioned narcissism. It's just a topic that I'm very passionate about also, but then I think that is what I intend on doing from, like, going starting now and going forward. I will not share my personal life. I will not share and when I say my personal life, everything is going to be based on me. So also don't ask questions about my personal life, because I want to protect the people close to me. Um but I think also, like I said, the main reason is because of my passion for mental health. I've been advocating for mental health since 2011, when I was diagnosed. And how that came about, how I was diagnosed, is I overdosed and I was in ICU for 3 days, and then we are here. And because of that, I'm able to give the world something, my experience, and I want to be relatable, and I believe that that's what you want. You don't want to watch somebody, that you're like, I can't relate to this person. And even, like, I believe that I have a lot to offer, even to people who are living without mental illness, because mental illness doesn't mean that your mental health is not, the absence of mental illness doesn't mean that your mental health is not affected. Your mental health can be affected, let's say with anxiety, because that's the most common one, but you do not have chronic anxiety. Okay, I'm sorry, I do not want to put in these difficult words. Also, I think what I love about myself is that when we get into talking about mental health, especially from a person who's living with mental illness, and like I said, I'm not a professional, you will always get the story firsthand. I will not give you the mental illness is a chemical imbalance. I don't even know what that means. Trust me, I really do not. I have been living with mental illness for quite a long time. I don't even know what it means. Okay, yeah. So it's easier because people get to relate. Sometimes I sit in my psychiatrist's office, like when I go get my meds, and she's saying things like I'm telling her stuff, and her explanation, I'm catching here and there, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, like, explain to me, like a person who didn't go to medical school. But those are things that we will get into. I think the easiest and the nicest one is seeing a psychologist, because I get to gossip about everybody. But I just want to say, we are going to have a great journey. You are going to see that you may be living with mental illness, but you can still have a fruitful life. Life may be challenging, but you can overcome it by taking care of yourself. And that is another reason I became a mental wellness coach. I'm also a facilitator. So I facilitate, but then sorry, with the main focus being mental wellness. So can you join me throughout this journey? And I think with this introduction, you can hear that there's quite a lot of things that we'll be discussing. Yeah. So let's go on this journey, and thank you so much. We will see each other along the way when we're working together. Thank you.